You don't need to hold down shift yet. Just try to get everything painted first. And then we can go back around and hold down shift and let it blend in a little bit more. There we go. Let's add this back to a 0.5. We're going to want to get the underside so that is working a little bit better. And hold down shift. Just want to get a little bit of blending in there. All right. Let's go back to the other breast joint. We want to add some more on here. So this has a little bit of deformation on it. All right, let's do this part right here too. Put this back to 1 for right here. You're going to want to put this on 0 because this should not have that other joint on it. We want to look at the left and make sure this doesn't have anything on it. So see, that's why that was all getting pulled forward. All right. Now we want to go back to frame 0, hit W so we can get out of there. Now we're outside of our paint weights, and what we want to do is we want to show our joints and then delete the motion we had on these 2 breast joints. So we'll go to frame 30, shift select and delete, and go here and delete as well. Now all I want to do is hit my rotate, which is E, and you want to rotate and see how that looks. So we're going to want to kill on the waistband what we have on there. We're going to want to select this, go back to paint weights, and we're going to want that to be a little bit more stationary. That shouldn't be moving as much as it does. It shouldn't have that much influence. So we're going to go back to paint weights, spine 3. And we want to go back to a full-on 1. And we want to paint these weights back here to be 1. All on this strap right here. We want all this to be 1. We don't want this moving around. All right. Plus, with this being the bra, it's to support, so you won't have the same type of jiggle if you were doing if it was just the breast alone. So we don't have to worry about that. We just want this to conform well. And even if it stays like how it is on spine 3, there doesn't have to be much movement at all. when this is on. Now, if you want to take this off and you want to do like, try to get some more physics type motion in there for a realistic bounce, or if you want to just hand key that bounce, go for it. Then I would just say leave it how it is for what we have for the chest, and then you're going to have the bra off anyway. So, or armor or whatever you have for your type of character. So let's go back again and select these joints and go to rotate on E. That looks a lot better. It's still moving a little bit. See, it's catching the light, which is kind of cool, but you don't want it to do that. So let's go back again and paint. Again, select, go to skin, paint weights, go back to our spine 3. It's on 1. I think it was wiggling like here. All right, let's go W again. Select our breast joints, E. All right, we have some issues at the bottom. Select it again, paint weights. Let's go underneath. Let's actually go here and hide the mesh. So we want to do H, just so we can make sure we get everything that we want underneath the skin that we can't really see that well. Hit W, select this mesh again, skin, and then we're going to go back to our paint weights, and then we're going to be on spine 3 at 1, and then we want to, here it is right here. You can see how it's a little discolored. You want that to be white, 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 white. Let's look at this over here. This all looks good. Just make sure all this on this ring right here is white. All right. Hit W. Select your mesh in your outliner. Hit H. Unhide your joints. Select your joints. Hit E. Now let's turn off wireframe here. There you go. So these are moving a lot better. Now let's lift the arms up a little bit. Make sure you don't have no keys. Let's save our file. File save. Okay, so let's look at raising the arms up and see what the straps are doing. If the straps are fine, then they're fine. But let's look at raising the arms and seeing where we need to start incorporating the clavicle with the chest and maybe the upper arm, just to see where things are and what we need to do to make it look better. So we're going to set some keys. Let's get rid of this window for now. Let's just select our clavicles. Hit save again. We want to set some keys, so let's hit S so we can keep it in this pose. Let's also select our upper arm. Hit S. All right, now let's go back to our clavicle. Let's rotate it on the Y axis. Oh, you can see how it's not conforming. We're gonna make sure those straps are conforming better. Undo that. Let's move up to frame 30 and then rotate. Let's hit S. So we'll select our upper arms, rotate, hit S. All right, so you can see where the problem areas are right here. So we're going to go in and paint those weights and blend that in. So now let's go to selecting the mesh. Let's go to skin. Let's go to paint weights. Let's open up our little hammer icon up here, which is our tool settings. and we are on spine 3 right now. What we want this to be on, we probably want this to be, let's go back to our breast joint. That's our left breast. This needs to be on, let's do 0.5. These need to be like that. It's 0.7, 0.75. That's better. All right, so we want these to, hold down shift. We want this to be to the clavicle. So clavicle R. And then let's do a 0.5. And then we're going to start painting these weights. I'm holding down shift a little bit so we can get a nice blend. Same thing for the back. First, I'm going to not hold shift so I can get everything to get a little bit of weight to it, and then hold shift so I can get it to blend better. That looks pretty good. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. So we want to go clavicle L, 0.5. Same thing here. So let's just start getting some weights on there, some paint on there first. Then hold down shift. Let it blend a little bit better. We're going to fix this in a little bit and see that that's messed up too. I'm not ignoring it. Get a little bit more paint back here. There we go. Make sure this is blending well. That looks pretty good. I do not like how that is sticking in there right now, though. Let's see. It's not coming down either. So let's do a 0.2. Let's do a 1. That's not changing. Is the neck different on both sides? It is not. So it looks like if we do spine, we do a 0.5. So on the spine, that's what that looks like, huh? Let's get this blended back together. That should be, oh, okay, so this is the problem with paint weights. I was looking at it like this, and I was probably painting straight down off into here. Yeesh. What I'm doing right now is just undoing. Not that it'll matter. I should just have to go back down there and repaint those. Same thing right here. So we want to go back to where this is on spine 3, and it's at 1. So we just want to repaint those back on there. Ah, but I see it's blending too. It's blending on